Hi, my name is Rick Howell. I'm a TV guy, and this show is called Talk Back to Television. It's about the business of television, how we make the programs, how we distribute the programs, and mostly how we pay for the programs. Because if we can't pay for the shows, there's nothing to watch. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Rick Howell.
And I'm Patrick Donoghue.
And it's time to talk back to television. All right, Patrick, you are a multi-Emmy winner at the Television Academy, and I am also a member of that group, but your job title is Chief Metaverse Officer.
That's
Patrick,
me.
what in the world does a Chief Metaverse Officer do? What is a Chief Metaverse Officer?
Well, more importantly, what is the metaverse?
Okay, there you go.
What is the Matrix, right? No, it's a great question because that's how every meeting and presentation we do starts. It's like everyone has a different definition. So what is the metaverse, right? So we always start with our definition. My definition is it's a shared virtual space where multiple people can simultaneously enter some kind of interesting, unusual, crazy experience and mutually experience things, walk, run, fly, climb, build, whatever, but together, no matter where they are in the world, because they're in this virtual, internet-based space. That's my definition of the metaverse.
The critical words there that I haven't heard anybody actually use is shared virtual space. That one makes sense. I can understand a virtual space and I can understand shared. So yeah, okay. So what can I do now in the metaverse and how would I get started?
And by the way, I've been in the metaverse with you, so you're quite facile, if you remember.
Oh, that's around. Right. We did. You built a room and we all stepped in. Okay. So yeah. If our viewers didn't have a talented friend like you to guide them along, how can they get started?
Yeah, that's a really good question because I don't want people to be scared or overwhelmed or think that's not for me, that's for my grandkids or whatever. If you haven't been in the metaverse today, you can very easily and for no money through your web browser, through your smartphone. And that's a really important thing because again, with this definition of a shared virtual space, well, that's effectively video games, right? If you've been playing multiplayer video games for the last 10 years, in my mind, that's the metaverse in some form.
You played video games with my son some long time ago.
Oh my God, I forgot. Yes.
Technically, by your definition, the two of you were in a metaverse-like environment, right?
Yes, that's absolutely right. And the things that people might know are Roblox. Again, if you have a kid or anybody under the age of 20, they've probably played Roblox. It's exactly that. It's a shared virtual space. People can build really cool little worlds. There's money, they have their own currency. It's quite cool. And another example that everyone has touched is a game called Fortnite, which is this massively multiplayer game that also allows people to build interesting, fun little worlds. They can be games, they can be just experiential. So right off the bat, Roblox and Fortnite, free on mobile, on desktop, on game consoles. Anybody can install it and experience it. So everybody listening to this could jump into the metaverse probably within 20 minutes, which is kind of exciting, actually.
How expensive is it?
$0.
If you're doing it on a device you already have.
Yeah. Like you could jump on your browser right now. You could download Roblox and you could be in and playing. And it's pretty great.
Okay. So my wife and I knocked something off our bucket list a couple of years ago, right at the end of COVID. We went to Egypt. And if somebody there in the Egyptian Tourism Bureau had created an internal tour of the Great Pyramid of Giza,
yeah,
it is possible that Jane and I, maybe along with friends, could have entered that and walked around inside the Great Pyramid of Giza. But what's different from doing that and just looking at a video of the inside of the Great Pyramid?
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a couple companies more and more that are doing things in the quote unquote metaverse. So for instance, Walmart is in Roblox, Home Depot is in Roblox. Jimmy Fallon built a whole experience where you can do a whole 30 Rock thing in Fortnite. But for instance, like the Home Depot one, and I love this about Home Depot, they're promoting kind of building and making for kids.
Okay.
And that's fantastic. So you go into the Walmart virtual store, you walk around as a little kid, and it says, hey, do you want to do a project? Sure, I want to make a birdhouse. Go get some lumber, go get some paint, go get some nails, come back here, assemble it. And, you know, it's all virtual, right? But there's a really kind of cool thing that happens there where maybe some kid who didn't feel empowered to go use tools and build stuff might go, I can do this, right? So as opposed to like your question, a video of just like, here's how to make a birdhouse, that's fine. Maybe there's something more visceral because, you know, a little kid is going to go, I'm awesome. I built a little virtual birdhouse. So now Dad, take me to Home Depot. Like that's, to me, that's pretty powerful.
Actually, the little kid would probably say, I built a birdhouse, now I'm going to sell it to granddaddy.
Exactly. Exactly. Or
Said
post
from
it
the
on my
perspective
TikTok.
of somebody who's in the middle of buying Joe Corby pizzas for public school kindergarten. On that note, by the way, shared virtual space, can do it right now on your computer.
Yep.
And you don't need the goggles, do you?
Don't need the goggles. They're awesome, but you don't need them.
Interesting. And
My
I
kids
saw
and I play
today
a
that
game.
Apple wants to develop a goggle set that allows me to see
Yes.
and allows me to appreciate virtual reality and augmented reality. And what's the difference there?
So virtual reality is you are in a totally different world. So once you go into virtual reality, the real world kind of disappears. You don't care, right? Because
Okay.
you're in the pyramids, you're in Walmart virtual, whatever, right? And augmented reality is I'm walking down the streets in New York and there's a Pokemon because I'm playing Pokemon Go. No, unless you live somewhere different, there are unfortunately are not real Pokemons in New York, but Pokemon Go, there are, right? There's Pokestops, there's battles, there's cool stuff. You can do turn-by-turn directions walking down, you know, Broadway, and it can say turn left to go to the Edison Hotel. Like that's where you're taking reality and you're layering interactivity or augmenting it, sort of adding it on top. So
All right. Well, guess what? I'm having fun, but we have run over time, but that's fine. We'll let the producers worry about that. I do have to say I owe my friends at USA Today a little tidbit at the end of every show. And here's something interesting. When Netflix brought out the ad-supported service, I think in November, I said, you know what? It's in the business. I need to try it. So I downgraded from $16.99 a month to $6.99 a month for the ad-supported. And Patrick, it drove me nuts. Now, arguably, that's a pretty short drive.
I was going to say that's the one. That's what did it.
That's what did it. It's made that hair stick out over there. They put the ads in the wrong places in the shows. The ads were interrupting the flow. I didn't like seeing the ads on Netflix, and not all the programming that they had on Netflix was available on that tier because their rights say some shows can't be shown with ads. So here's the tip. That was $6.99. For $3 more, I got rid of the ads.
How?
I didn't have to go to the $16.99. There is a little known service called Netflix Basic. All the programming, no advertising, one device at a time. One at a time. Not, you can still say, I'm going to watch on the computer now and turn that off and then watch on TV and turn that off and watch on my phone, right?
So as long as you and Jane want to watch the same show together, everything's going to work out.
I'm mostly the Netflix watcher, but you know, you can do that. It has all the shows. It's only 720p. And I don't know about you, but I mostly can't tell the difference between 720 and 1080. Okay. Yeah. I mean, truly. But I'll say, so that's a tip. For $3 a month. You can get rid of the advertising on Netflix.
Sold.
Well, there's a whole lot of things I'd like to get rid of for $3.
Your kids are going to be upset if you're doing password sharing, but that's a whole other conversation. That's
and
another
there
show.
You go. All right, buddy. That's our talk back to television this week with Patrick Donoghue, Chief Metaverse Officer and multi-Emmy winner. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Rick.
And we'll see everybody next week on Talk Back to Television.